Hello everyone, how good of you to join, and welcome back to Railway Empire 2 to New York City main station. Yeah, busy area it is. There's basically always a train coming in and out. And of course, we want to make sure that this is not stopping, that we continue to make this busier than ever. The first thing that comes to mind, I mean, look at that, the details is just beautiful as the city has grown. There's also a tunnel. Oh, a sabotage? We do have a sabotage. I don't see that anywhere. Nor do I get a message from some point. So I guess we can just enjoy this tunnel here that is going beneath my tracks there. I think this is new. It's pretty cool, I think, in that case. But after all, we still don't have a road connection with the main station. This really should change at some point, please. Now, New York City has one problem. It's capped at 100,000, the same that Washington, D.C. already had. So we need to provide something once more, and that is a university. Let's go ahead and build us one. Once again, also we will need to pay a hefty sum for this, right? To make it work, but it should be fine. Let's actually have it. Can we kind of like rotate it so that we have it right next to the station here? Try this out. Yes, because with that we actually have made a bit of a better connection here between the main station and whatnot. And with the university in New York City, we also can continue now to grow past the 1,000 people. The 100,000 people, exactly what we wanted. Now, New York City, I would like to continue now with making this busier than ever. And let's just have a look at the grand network, yeah, like this. So first of all, do we have a sabotage? I don't see that. So I guess he was just lying to us, right to our face. And there's also warehouses here. There's also, yeah, there's basically nothing anywhere happening. So yeah, I can just go ahead with that. And Charlottesville, nope, I don't need that. I would like to go deeper into Canada now a bit. So over here we got Quebec, Montreal especially. And I would like, 1.4 million. Let's go ahead and get this one. There you go. And let's also do something here. Of course, first of all, I would like to connect those cities with each other. I would also like to make them one hub in this, well, Canadian area, Montreal most likely, that connects them directly to New York. So let's go ahead and do this right away. We're starting with the city connection. So we got Ottawa, Toronto. And let's go ahead and build that rail station here. There's also lots of resources close by. There's grain, vegetables. We need that. There's corn over there. This will just be ideal for some very good cargo transportation. Let's just make sure that we do this right. That we have a new station to Ottawa. And yeah, as always, we need to connect it unfortunately right away. There's also then the grain here. And there's grain here. I mean, what I still noticed is in New York City, despite the growth, we're still not having the best fulfillment here, right? So it's at 90%, alright, but there's nothing in store once more. So also beer. So we definitely want to make sure that we have this all the time. So Ottawa has beer, Montreal has beer, so it will definitely also want to get some grain in, right? So this is what we want. The first things first, let's make that connection. Yep, let's also make that rural station here being connected once more. Kind of like going then towards Ottawa up here. There you go. And now we can make that beautiful connection again. Toronto already has a train line coming in, but there's nothing on this track here, so that we could use for sure, right? So let's just go ahead with this one. But since there's also going to be some freight, I might also then use one of these tracks here as well. So we're going to merge a couple of them for sure, right? So something like that, because I definitely want to use as many tracks as possible. And this one continues then all the way now here to Johnson Stop. And once again, we'll need a bunch of them. So this one goes then all the way here. And there's probably also once more coming in a third platform here, but this is going for Montreal, right? So there's no other way here. Very good. And now I can make the next building. That's the train station. And with this, we need to make sure Ottawa and Montreal that we do kind of like align it with New York. Even though, it doesn't matter. It's so far away, it really doesn't matter. We could have it on the other side. And there we have the station for Montreal. So this is going to be quite the big station, right? The first one is, of course, now from Ottawa and Toronto. We continue all the way then here. Let's make sure that we got those first 2 tracks here for New York. There will be freight, of course, and passenger transportation. So I can, yeah, let's just take this one here and go ahead and have the parallel track system for it. Was this now the number 2? Yes, this was number 2. Perfect. And here, not a third one, but this one that we then just combine again with a gridiron. Right, that's that. This is coming now all the way to Montreal. And in Montreal, of course, there's also a whole bunch of stuff coming in then at some point. But right now, I'm focusing on that. And now what we can still make is the gridirons, of course. So that we get this right in every station, especially there where we have the 3 tracks. Very good. And also here somewhere. And then also all the way down here. Johnson stop on this side, yes. And then we got Toronto, of course. There we have 1 gridiron, and here we already have 1 there. By the way, also a nice passenger train coming in. And I'm just going to love that people from Toronto, from London, and even from Pittsburgh could use this route here and get then all the way to New York as well, right? So we got a whole loop then there in addition, combining a few cities with that. Alright, basic cities so far, of course, but they are going to grow anyway. Now, I'm definitely going to need me some supply towers. Let's have one here. And one also here close to Montreal. And probably we'll think about a maintenance depot in Montreal too, since it's going to be quite the big station. That's fine already. We have everything in place here. The only thing, as always, we need is some direction, so those trains are not crashing into each other. Now that would be the spectacle right there. That's looking fantastic. Oh no, actually this is not looking fantastic, is it? Nope. Now it's looking fantastic. There you go. And this one is, of course, then track number 3. Perfect. So we can actually start with this one to make things easy. Johnson to Montreal, right? I want to get the beer down here to be, yeah. Let's have the beer here. So this is going to be quite the. Nah, wait a second. We have grain right in front of Montreal. So this one here we don't need for now. There's so much grain, I just noticed. It's fine. We don't need it for now. Right? So let's just go ahead with the passenger transportation. Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto. And then back again, Ottawa. Alright, the platforms have been designed as well. I'm just going to not show you that every single time because I think that is a bit tedious. And of course, we're going to make this express. Yes, we're going to make this an express train only. And with the dining car as well to increase my ticket revenue for the passengers. Let's go ahead and do this. Train system number 1 online. Next up, we got the beer here, right? So we also got the grain in already. Very good. So we produce beer, right? But not a very high quality. There's an issue with the production. It needs more grain, right? So we probably should provide. Just as for the heck of it, let's go ahead and build us one of these here, right? So this one at platform. Oh, I cannot do that yet. I need to first choose Montreal. And in Johnson, we're going ahead with platform number 3. And this is grain, of course. And we're going to use the Derwent for this one, right? That's fine. The only thing I still need to do is in Montreal, let's make sure that we use the inner platform 3. Because on number 4, the passengers arrive. So that's that. I want to create Montreal as a hub, kind of like, right, for the outbound. So that's pretty important. Let's have a maintenance depot there as well.
Why don't you invest a little in the reliability of your trains?
I'm doing this. Thank you very much. Look at Montreal. It's so cute and tiny right now. And we know exactly that we are actually growing this one at a pretty fast pace. Now comes the tricky part. I need to get some goods over, right? Goods that I also want to get over to New York City, for example. So we do have, of course, the ongoing grain and corn issue. So having more grain coming over to Montreal is fine. And then I would also like to make kind of like a supply route, especially for fruit. We got the corn and we got the vegetables over there. So there will be quite a few rural stations now. Rural station number 1. Number 2. And I'm not going to supply these smaller cities with that directly, because I think that's not going to work out so nicely. I like to have bigger hubs. And then we have this one that gets the fruit and the grain and gets this over to Montreal as well. Right? And we would have in the bigger thing here some lumber over there as well, if I want to get this in. Oh, and milk. Totally. We don't need milk, of course. And I want to grow Montreal, so Montreal should get as many goods as possible for this whole thing to work, right? That's quite a lot of stations now. The livestock I'm not caring for now, because it is connected anyway. That's fine. The only thing, the most complicated thing here will be just to have enough platforms in Montreal, because it's getting busy there. Let's start with that one. That gets now over. Let's just make sure that there is no tunnel or anything. And yeah, let's make it parallel. And then we're going ahead with this. And this goes into, let's make it really the last platform that we have. The outer platform there, right, from Montreal. And that's it. There is not going to be any additional one. Here though, I will need to have another track. And we just kind of like get in here then. Like... Okay, this is not possible at max speed? Could be possible at max speed. There it is. Alright. Right, so this comes then in. This is only going to be a one-way ticket. Then we got right over here the corn. This is very important. I'm probably going to have 2 trains for this. And we are also going to choose then this very last platform here. And I think one train will be totally fine for this. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to need a second train for this line here. So that's that. Then we got, of course, the milk over there. For the milk, I will need to make sure that we are not interrupting the main line here. Because, of course, there's also going to be the Quebec and... there's no other city up here then, except for Chico, that we are also going to take in. And I might actually just make this now work. Why not? Quebec City.
Station. Progress can't be stopped.
No, it cannot. And then I might actually, you know what? Yep, let's have this one there, the passenger that we already have. Just continue then, right? Let's not have Montreal as a final station for this. Why not? Let's have one big line that goes all the way to Quebec, right over there. 100,000 max speed. It's really just one big straight track system there. Crazy how much space you have out here, right? And we just built that and have a parallel system as well. So this is one giant one. And this then continues on to 49 railway stations we have. And another auction. By the way, we are at 1836. I would really love to progress there to 40, please, because I want to get the weather protection, right? And 465,000 weekly balance right now. Crazy high. Is there any other city out here then? No, this is really the last city. By the way, there's Val d'Or. Totally forgot about you. Oh, and this is important. Total bonus from research 5%. Well-being's employees. The cost is reduced. Yeah, let's go ahead and purchase us this tech here, if no one takes it. I guess we are totally alone with that. Oh, very nice.
If you can make any use of it.
To be honest, this is just way too tiny. Oh no, this is a settlement. Oh, this small settlement can be upgraded to a city. To do this, construct a train station in the settlement and deliver these goods. Once we have that, we can found a city out of that. Val d'Or. Right now, it's just a smaller, very reclusive settlement somewhere deep in the Canadian forest. Very interesting stuff. There's lumber, there's grain, and meat we probably can get from one of the cities. Toronto, right? It will definitely cost me something in the beginning, but yeah, we definitely can do this at some point. Not now though, right? Now we want to get the other cities into my dominion. And this one. Oh. 2.5 million for tunnel. I'm not crazy. You save a lot of money by just manually choosing the points, right? A lot of money. Look at that. Only 146,000 and it's still the max speed. It goes a bit up here, right? 9%. Which should be fine for any kind of modern train we have. Alright, and let's also mark this parallel. Yes! So this is now one really giant train line, and I'm just going to make this one from, I guess from London all the way up here to Chico, right? And we already have a line for this that we can use for that then. Perfect. That's that. And then I want to use the milk, of course. And for the milk, I will need to make sure, we are going to use platform number 2 here. That is also bound for New York then at some point. But I think it'll be fine because one is freight, one is passengers. And if there's 2 freighters on one platform, that will be fine, right? It's especially not a high traffic delivery here, the milk. So it's going to be a very expensive one. Yeah. Something like that. Holy cow, is that even possible?
Breakdown makes me sad.
Right, it is possible. Okay, I thought it would go up here very steeply, but that's not the case. That's looking good. And we can make the milk here connected with that. There you go. And with that, we have a new station also that works here. I still will need now some, of course, supply towers once more. So definitely here where we do have lots of stuff. By the way, I will need a gridiron here too. There you go. Then I can have a supply tower right next to it. That's better. And then, of course, we still need those track directions. Very good. Yeah, this is quite the foundation for something big, right? I can go ahead with another train line now. That's the corn. And this, of course, is going to be only freight. And do we already have Smith Rest? I don't think so. There you go. And this is also just one train, really. Freight. Very good. Then we got the milk. Going into Montreal. And I'm going to use platform number 2 here. Make this work. And this is also just going to be freight. And then secure supply guaranteed. Yeah. Rarely has a city been so well served as New York City has been in recent months. Businesses and citizens of the city are sure that this is due to the good railroad connection through Niva Train and voted the railroad company the best carrier. In celebration of the award, fireworks will go off over the corporate headquarters in New York City. Now this is my corporate headquarters. By the way, we have an amazing view. No fireworks though. But a nice exhibition of one of my first vehicles that we used. Alright. Now, everything's coming together here, right? We do need a warehouse. Yep, there it is. And this warehouse is going, of course, to have then these goods here, right? So we're going to have fruit, for sure. Just make sure that we choose the right ones. Corn. Fruit. Milk. Do we already have the vegetables in? Ah, the vegetables I also need to connect still. Right, so that's going to be the same platform as this one, I'm sure. Wait a second. This one I can use. We need some good vegetables here. And we might actually make this a 2-train system at some point. It's very hard right now to decide how the demand will be, right? Yeah, let's make the connection here complete. And let's also add a gridiron to that. There you go. And of course also a supply tower once more. And it's also getting really busy here, so a maintenance depot for the whole mess should be fine too. In addition, a maintenance post, sorry. That further reduces the amount of breakdowns that you can have here. Gridiron, and then we're just going with the directions here. Once more. Like this. Perfect. And then we can actually already go ahead with that system. And we're going to choose platform 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess. Which is not utilized at the moment at all. And freight it is once more. Off it goes. Perfect. So, vegetables it is as well. That's something. So that's 4 goods in addition to the beer that is being produced in Montreal, right? And as we can see, things are starting to come in now. And Montreal is already, of course, now growing because of that. Because there's basically just a lot of people coming in. Now, what we can do now, I want to make now the final connection between Montreal and New York. And the cool thing is now, we are storing a lot of things in Montreal and it goes directly then to New York City. That is the grain, that is the fruits, that is the vegetables, the corn, the beer, right? So all of that is going directly in, so we don't need to juggle around here anything, because those cities of course also want something, and we provide a lot of cities already. The only thing that I might need to do here then is using a platform that is not really utilized. And this will be hard because New York station is really busy. So these two are the least utilized at the moment. Going for wool and Albany then, right? So this would be fine really. There is a lot of lines here. And here we only have one. Buffalo Syracuse right now. I think the middle station might be best, but that would be very hard to reach at the moment. We can do this, of course. The middle one, right? We have the gridiron here. And I just can go ahead and also connect all of them now. Let's create one giant network going out of New York City. This one. Right? Can I do a gridiron already? Yes. This is a massive one now. And the cool thing about this one is that you can now go into the middle platform where there's no one right now for a new line, right? That comes in. And this goes out then here, those two. Those two are going out. And they're going to have a long journey ahead of them now, over to Montreal. Full with tunnels and whatnot. Let's just make sure that we go this way. Around that mountain here. We don't need to go directly into the mountain. Yeah, there's a tunnel now. And then we continue onwards here. That's going to be a very scenic route, by the way. Okay, here it's getting a bit tricky now with the terrain. Max speed still. Along the river is probably my safest bet that we have here. Another tunnel. Max speed into Canada. And then I just want to make sure that we can make that connection here. 800,000? Seems about right. Into the biggest line that we had so far. Along the river and the mountains. It's beautiful, really. Alright, let's build it. There you go. And the game doesn't even offer me a parallel system here, because I think it's overwhelmed with that length. So I just have to do it manually again. But that's fine. We just need to snap it to these tracks here. And it, of course, also doesn't cost me that much this time. Right, and there's the connection. Crazily good! I love that. This is perfect. This is going to be the express train, New York to Montreal. Let's make sure that this, of course, is also getting its supply power close to the station. I mean, we can also have a big one here. Yep, very good. And I'm definitely also going to have a maintenance post somewhere on along the line, right? That this, of course, is getting its attention to. Perfect. I still need to have a gridiron here. And then, of course, we still also need to provide direction. Because there's going to be a lot of trains on this line. Very good. And now, we just need to create the lines. Montreal to New York. And let's just make sure that for this one, we're going to use the central one, right? That is not so utilized yet. We can, I mean, it should show it anyway, yep. track number 4, for example. And this is going to be for the freight that we have. And this is basically now really delivering a lot of goods to New York City, but also vice versa to Montreal. Processed stuff like clothing, for example, that Montreal will need. Let's also... that's it, right? We're going to have a freight, and we're going to at least use 2 for now. We will probably push it to 3. That's that. And then I will also need to create a line now between New York and Montreal for passengers. And this is going to be now express. 2 of them at least with the Firefly. And we are using platform number 1 in Montreal. And in New York City, it's a bit tricky now. I would probably like to use the outermost station. This one here is already being chosen because that is the least one. Number 5. Let's go with number 5. Make sure that this works. And of course, we're going to say no. Oh, okay, it should automatically do this anyway. To all of that. Dining car we can enable, and off it goes. Whew! That was quite the project, but it is online. And we are now going to see some good transportation then between those two on a very scenic route that I'm just going to enjoy watching now and following along, as these trains are making their way through the Canadian and North American wilderness. Stay tuned!